Hey, good afternoon. It's about 6:45 on a Sunday morning, and this is just a typical neighborhood. This is where I live on Newt, Soi 77 and Sukhumvit. That is the base on Soi 77, the blocks next door. And my condo over here is the Knightsbridge Prime. So this is a really good example of an area that would be convenient for expats, Thais, anybody really. So coming down 77, this is a massage place which will be open soon. Street food opens a little later on Sunday. On a weekday, that'd already be going. Here's some monks. There's a Wat down the street and to the left. They're always out early in the morning. And this is the Big C grocery store. No matter where you live in Thailand, it's always convenient, I've said it in other videos, to try to find a condo if you have 5 to choose from and 2 of them are within a block or 2 of a grocery store. That's easier than carrying groceries 5-6 blocks in the heat and rain. And I'm also close to BTS train stop. Less than a 10-minute walk. So we'll head up 77 and I'll show you what's on the way to the train. In this Big C, you'll have all the major banks, fast food. There's a KFC in there and Chester's Chicken. There's also a food court up on the top floor. $1.50 chicken and rice and different Thai meals. There's a soy dog cruising around. Don't be terrified of the loose dogs because they're going to be everywhere here in Bangkok. If you're a dog person, yeah, I wouldn't go up there and pat him on the head. He might take a nip at you. But just cruising around the neighborhood, I see a couple sitting across the way, and there's always a dog sitting in front of that 7-Eleven. They're not stupid. When that 7-Eleven door opens, you get a little blast of air conditioning. So don't be terrified. I'll see in some YouTube videos people say every one of those dogs has rabies, etc. That's not true. I mean, most of these dogs, 90+% of them have homes. They just cruise around during the day and head home when it's time to eat. And all kinds of amazing street food going on here. But you'll be able to find that in every part of town. When you're picking a neighborhood, this on Newt became very popular in the last 10 years because it was affordable. On Newt used to be the last train stop on the BTS light green line. Now it continues on for miles and miles and miles. But back in the day, it seemed like it was a long way out here. Really, it's less than 15 minutes. I think I timed it once. 12 minutes from on Newt to Asok, which would definitely be considered like the heart of Bangkok, especially the tourist area. So it's not like you're a 30-minute train ride away. These days, if you want, well, it used to be affordable. Now it's kind of the same prices. It's gone up. You can definitely find some bargains over here. That building, the blocks I pointed out, I saw last night 1-bedrooms. They're small, but 1-bedroom units were going for 12,000 baht. Now, this is 2023, so if you're watching this video in a year or two, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. It could go up 5,000 baht. But 12,000 baht is pretty affordable. I'm paying 16,000 baht, but my building is also less than 5 years old and kind of fancy and shiny. I would be just fine with a 12,000 baht unit, but that's just what I jumped at. It just, I looked at 4 or 5 units and I kind of treated myself the extra, whatever that is, $100 a month. But you'll have to make that decision. These times, if you're in these times, if you're looking for a bargain, Udom Suk BTS is where everybody's heading for less than 10,000 baht apartments. So check that area out if you're on a little tighter budget or you just want to get the most affordable unit. The thing about Udom Suk and even on Newt is this is not Asok or Nana. It's going to shut down at 10 p.m., well, it's early Sunday morning, but all these shops will be open soon. But at 10 p.m., this is going to be a ghost town where Asok and Nana 24 hours a day. So that's either good or bad, depending on if you're a night owl. Don't move up here to Udom Suk or even on Nut if you're just going to be in Asok every day. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm a bit of a night owl, and I'm down in Prompong often. So that's probably where I'm going to move, even if it costs me 3,000 or 4,000 extra baht a month. I'm just always down there. I like living up here. There are some things to do, but this is definitely more for, I won't say a homebody, but not a person that's going to be out 5 times a week. I sound like a broken record, reminding people to find a condo that's right on the train stop. The BTS is my favorite, but the MRT is another option, the subway. That is the train track for the On Nut station. So like I say, I'm 3 blocks away. Anything under 6 blocks, 7, 8's kind of pushing it. But under 5, 6 blocks, that's perfect. Get to the BTS. Don't have a long walk. There's plenty of areas in Bangkok where you can get a beautiful condo for 5,000 baht. You just might be 5 miles from the nearest train. Again, if you just stay at home and go out a couple of times a month, that might not be a big deal, but it's a big deal for me because I'm out all the time. The other issue with living up here in On Nut or Udom Suk is the BTS, the trains, they stop at midnight. So if you know you're going to be out past midnight, half the time you go out, we'll just factor in those train or taxi rides back home. And taxis aren't super crazy, but there's traffic issues, and it is a hassle getting taxis and Bolt and Grab, which is like Uber and Lyft. Sometimes they cancel 2 or 3 times before they finally show up. So just take all that into consideration. If you know you're going to be out running around, not necessarily getting drunk or whatever, but just out socializing and looking around, that's what I do. When I go out, I'll drink a couple of beers over 4 or 5 hours, 3 if I'm getting crazy, but I am out late often. Oftentimes I don't even head out till 9 at night. So coming back at 2 is not unusual, and that's gonna be in a taxi. Or I've been really getting into using the local buses. They run 24 hours, and they're 12 baht. I'll show you the bus when we get up here to Sukhumvit. As far as safety, etc., all these places are safe. Bangkok, I mean, yeah, there's petty crime if you leave your brand new carbon fiber mountain bike sitting there. Somebody's probably gonna take it from you. Just petty theft. But as far as this being a rough area compared to wherever, Asok or Nana, it's kind of just the opposite. You would think the more popular area like Nana might be safer, but there's more scams going on up there, and bad people taking advantage of drunks, because everybody's drunk up in Nana half the time. And even then, if you're a normal person, there's enough people just stumbling down the street drunk for the pickpockets to go after and all. I've been coming to Bangkok I don't know how many times, and I've just never had a problem. Not with the police, not being scammed or robbed or feeling threatened in any way. It just does not happen compared to a lot of places in the world. Even great cities like Mexico City, you can be in one neighborhood and the best place in the world, and you go 1 mile away and you're like, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. It's not like that in Bangkok at all. And this is the main Sukhumvit road, and I would keep it simple. Well, that's a local bus right there. So the local bus, you can see it's labeled 132 and at all the bus stops, and there are one on every block or at least every 2 blocks. The bus will tell the highlighted streets, X, Y, Z, where it goes. So you can tell if it's going straight up Sukhumvit. And I would say out of the dozen buses that run up and down the street, I would say 9 of them go straight down Sukhumvit. So you could catch this bus way down by Siam Station, 8 stops away. And for 12 baht, It's just going to run you up the street. You just have to be a little careful. There's no announcements, anything like that. So you got to know where you are and hit that buzzer when you're ready to get off. Now on the other side of the street, I'm not sure about this one. That is an air-conditioned bus. They cost a little bit more, but they're still affordable. If the regular bus is 12 baht, non-air conditioned, this is a non-air conditioned bus. Just old school, like a school bus. You jump on, and as you get on, the person shaking the little coin container will come over and collect your money. And try to save those coins and 20-note bills. Don't hand her 100 baht. She's got enough problems making change. 12 baht is the going rate, and I think it's 17 for the air-conditioned bus. But don't quote me on that. So when you're out looking for a neighborhood, let's say you're coming to Bangkok. Yeah, I want to get out there, do a little bit of partying, explore the city, but I'm trying to get the best deal I can on an apartment. On Newt, 100% fine. It just is. It's a great area, good places to shop, eat. If you can, the closer to the BTS here, the better. On Newt, you can stay right on the BTS, and it's going to be the same price as my building, which is, I don't know what it is, 4 blocks from the BTS. My building cost a little bit more because it's less than 5 years old. You might be able to get an older building, 20 years old. I don't know what they are. Now this is a condo bus right here. You can be tucked away 10 blocks and they'll run you to the BTS, but don't rely on that. Don't look at a building and say, well, they have a condo bus, so that's perfect. It's a long walk, but I'll just take the bus every day. No, those buses, they're kind of goofy. They take off like on the half hour during rush hour, and then it switches to on the hour in the middle of the day. And it just, I've been on my condo bus 3 times in a year. It just doesn't seem to work out. Every single time you're walking out, you got a 25-minute wait, or if for convenience sakes, look at this building. This is the Q House. That's BTS on Newt. That's the grocery store. That's kind of what you want. Now, it's not going to always work out that perfect, but just do a little bit of homework. Don't get crazy trying to figure it out online. You need to get over here, get a hotel, at least for a couple of weeks or a week, and then get out, boots on the ground, and look at all the different buildings. Walk to the train, get on that train, and like most of us, you're going to probably be hanging out in, most of us rookie expats, Prom, Asok, Nana. You're not going to go much further than the Siam station, which is where Siam Paragon is. And from on Newt, you can go, if you don't mind things being super quiet, and they are kind of quiet down there, you can go 2, 3, 4 more train stops, save a lot of money, but it's just a little bit more boring. Yeah, there's a shopping mall down there with a movie theater and all. Same here in on Newt. But everybody, including myself, seems to end up in the more touristy area. It's just exciting up there. It's everybody running around on the streets. Not all just red light district, but that's there. Nana Plaza, Soy Cowboy, and all the regular bars in between that area. So it's not all red light here in Bangkok. You'll be at different British pubs and all. My favorite is Soy 33/1 in the Prompong area. There's 3 pubs within, they're all next door to each other. So that's just a great place to go and do a little people watching. And I was there last night. These English roasts, I guess, the Sunday roast, which they do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Heck, I think I paid 10 bucks, 300 and something baht, and that included a free pint of beer. Beautiful plate of food. I got the beef, mashed potatoes, vegetables, and some kind of kidney pie or something. I don't know, but it was all pretty good. And here's what I was talking about with the buses, bus 2, 23, whatever. You can just see 2 goes straight up Sukhumvit, as most of these buses do. It's the main thoroughfare. And if somebody's watching this video and they're saying, hey, that's great, tell everybody to move to Sukhumvit. I get that this is very elementary, and this is where 95% of expats, they just move right to the Sukhumvit area, right near the BTS, but it's for a reason. Sure, people that have lived over here a couple of years, 5 years, 10 years, they're off on the other side of the river in Thailand, and by the way, the train goes over there now. I think back in the day you had to take a river taxi to get across the Chao Phraya, so things were super affordable over there. I have a couple of friends that bought places over there. But keeping it simple, just coming as an expat, if you're retired, we'll factor in where you want to live based on your lifestyle. If you're going to be working at the U.S. Embassy or the Canadian Embassy, well then try to get a condo up in, I think they're both up in the Plone Chit area. Just make your life simple. This isn't Dallas, Texas or whatever. Well, that's a bad example. Traffic's horrible there. But just going from here to the embassy in traffic, it's loud. In traffic might take you 50 minutes, where on the train, if you're close to the train, you can get there in 15 minutes. And this is Soi 50, another very popular street with expats. Very close to the train, close to the Lotus, which is like a Walmart. And up about a block on the right are 5, 6 little bars like Cheap Charlie's. Good little hangout. Affordable beers. Just a little outdoor beer garden. But really that's about all that's going on up here in On Nut. Yeah, they'll be going till 2 in the morning. And there's a couple of 24-hour restaurants over here. But this On Nut area, it's not really for partying if that's what you're coming over to Bangkok to do. And here's my BTS station. It was an 8-minute walk, I think. There's other things you need to be mindful of, like flooding. It rains here just crazy, and every now and then there's so much rain, there's just a foot of rain right here. You'll learn to walk around with a backpack and keep a cheap pair of flip-flops, like shower shoes, the kind that are going to dry out real quick. And oftentimes you have to take your shoes and socks off to enter the train or enter a business. It's not often, but during the rainy season, it'll rain every day. And when it storms, it just takes hours for the water to drain away. So carrying those flip-flops and a small towel will just make your life a whole lot easier, unless you're just going to plow through the water and be soaking wet all day. That's no fun. And here's the BTS On Nut. BTS, it's an affordable way to get around that town, although it's really gone up in price. Most rides seem to be about $1 now. Short rides a little under $1. Longer rides might be like $1.25. Still very popular with middle-class Thai folks, and as an expat, 100% the way to go. Bring your passport when you first get here, and you'll get, for the BTS, it's called a rabbit card. Load money on it, but they have to enter your information from your passport. A color picture of your passport will probably do. Just don't show up empty-handed, and you'll go to one of the windows and do it on a slow time like now. There's nobody in line. At 6 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, there'll be 20 people in line, because this is also where you buy single tickets if you have large bills. If you have coins or smaller bills, you can quickly do it on one of these machines. But for whatever reason, I don't know, not everybody likes to use those machines. And they'll stand in line, and they'll probably be getting upset with you when you take one of the guys to, do 5 minutes to do up your rabbit card. So do it at a slow time. Put 1,000 baht on there, and that'll last me about a month, and I use it every day. This is a little night market. If ladies want to get your nails done and hair done super affordably, check out these little night markets in your area. Although the fancy hair salon or whatever it's called is probably still quite a deal. That's Cheap Charlie's over there on the side of that building. And I forget what these buildings are called, the lower rise. I always see them affordable. Oh, it's called the Link. I can see it from here. I always see them at 12, 13,000 baht for one-bedroom units. I'll leave it up to you. Oftentimes, it's not much more between the studio and the one-bedroom, but it's kind of a big deal. So that's just some quick thoughts on picking an apartment, picking a neighborhood in Bangkok. You're not going to be able to mess up that bad. If I've been standing on this Sukhumvit for just a few minutes now, and you can see a lot of noisy motorbikes and noisy trucks. So if you do get a building right on Sukhumvit and your balcony's facing it, and you're going to have your windows open all the time, yeah, it's gonna sound like New York City. If you tuck yourself back even one block, the sound just goes away. I mean, it's still living in the middle of the city, but keep that in mind as a trade-off. I think it's a good idea to be 100 feet from the train. Well, maybe 500 feet from the train will be a little more peaceful. To me, it doesn't matter. To some people, it might. If you want to keep it simple, basic, stay on the Sukhumvit light green line in between Siam Station and En Nut Station. As close to the train as you can. Again, closer to the train is probably going to be a little bit more expensive. That fancy building back there with the walkway between the two, I wouldn't go that far from a train stop. I don't care if you're a triathlete and you run marathons and whatever. Just don't do it. It's too hot. It's not even 7:15 in the morning, and it's probably 90 degrees. Again, you might say that's not a big deal, but it's a big deal if you have to do that every day. Also with the rain, this building is a much better option than that building. In between En Nut and Paragon, that's a great place to get your feet wet, get over here, explore the city, then live anywhere you want. You can also pay a little extra for a 6-month lease. I'll see ads for an apartment in this building, whatever it's called, on Sukhumvit 50 for 18,000 baht a month. If you want to, less than that. Let's say it's 14,000 baht a month. If you want a 6-month lease, it's 17,000 baht a month. You might be able to negotiate. There's always a little bit of room for negotiation. My apartment, they wanted 17,000 baht. I offered 16,000 and I'll sign a 12-month lease today, and they took it. Not that 1,000 baht's any big deal. It's $25, $26, but hey, you know, that pays the phone bill. And if you're asking what my favorite part of town, if one of my buddies were, and I live here in En Nut, but if one of my buddies were moving over, I would 100% put them right in Phrom Phong. It's not quite as crazy as a Sok or Nana, yet you're 5 minutes away. You're 2 train stops away. It's oftentimes the same price these days as living up here in En Nut. Maybe you'll pay 2,000 extra baht a month, but it's worth it to be able to just, let's say this is your condo, walk out of your condo, not even walk a block, and there's 2 British pubs. Go over here and there's a movie theater. Go over here and there's 2 shopping malls. It's just very, very convenient. Plus a Sok station, which is 1 station away from Phrom Phong, is the connection for the MRT subway, and you can also connect on the subway at a Sok. You can connect 1 stop to Phetchaburi, and you're on the airport train that'll run you out to Suvarnabhumi. So Phrom Phong, again, people are going to say, hey, no kidding, suggesting Phrom Phong is a nice spot to live, but it's for a reason. There's a lot going on in that area. It's not crazy unaffordable, and it's a nice place to live. That might be where I'm going to head when my lease is up. So thanks for checking out my little video. Leave a comment if you have a different idea on a great place to live in Bangkok, or a suggestion for others. And if you enjoy these looks around Bangkok, consider subscribing. Thanks so much. Have a great day.